We're going to go over how to properly check your EDC before you take it out there, because I don't think a lot of people read their manuals, let alone think anything bad's going to happen to their firearm if they clean it. But there are a few things that you need to look out for. What I do is I make sure you unload completely to make sure your dry function works. So we want to know that your firing pin fires. You hold the trigger down, load it again, listen for the sear, that reset, and you're also listening for this click. You hear that nice click, that's telling you that your firing pin is not gunked up or stopping during its travel. Usually when people oil the insides way too much, you'll hear this deadened tick. And then we'll have to go into here and figure out why we have a deadened tick. And if you don't do this dry function check or listen for those sounds, you'll never know. But usually people just slap a bunch of oil in here, get oil down there, in here, and this is your firing pin safety. It goes up and down. So say oil here and oil there, that's into your firing pin and its housing. As it goes back and forth and you're running your gun with this oil saturated in there, you're gonna gunk up the areas from the inside going up and down into your extractor area. You'll also gunk up the areas right here where your firing pin goes back and forth. It'll gunk up all of your springs and it'll stop your firearm from working. So we'll try not to do that, because if you get it all gunked up, you're gonna end up having to take your firing pin housing, everything off, back plate, your extractor, and you have to clean everything, get all that gunk out of all the springs and all around. And what I use is just break up. You're not allowed to use oil, just break it all up, and then do not put it back together unless all these areas are bone dry with nothing in the way. When you put it all back together, you want to test it without firing, obviously. So my best way is, once you get it all cleaned up and dry, put the firearm back together, making sure this firing pin is actually going to hit my cartridge before I leave for the day. I'm going to put a colored pencil and send it. If that sends my colored pencil 3 times the same height, my firing pin is not getting stopped. We also want to make sure she locks back on an empty magazine. Those are the simple little functions you want to check before you leave the house, because if you have a round in the chamber and you haven't checked any of that, you're going to shoot nothing. And I've had that happen to numerous people, and it's because of putting oil in those areas you're not supposed to put oil in. So be safe out there, always read your manual, and have fun.